What is going on, all-terrain nation? Whether it be two-wheel drive, four-wheel drives, or these freaking kick-ass Broncos we all want to drive and some of us get to. This is your all-terrain nation, and I'm your host, David Boyd. And wait, where'd she go? Kelly is in recovery right now. She's suffering a migraine, so we won't see Kelly tonight. So if you're here for Kelly, Sorry. You'll just have to put up with me. I know it's been a while. Dave hadn't done one of these solo in quite a bit, but I've done I remember doing some 3 hours of these by myself, and by the end, I had no voice. But welcome to Bronco Talk Live. If you're new to the channel, my name is David Boyd. I'm an auto journalist here on YouTube and travel all over the country covering the Bronco and every other brand out there. So if you think about it, smash that like button for me and make sure on this video you smash the like button because we got some news to talk about. But first off, we gotta chat a little bit, right? We got to talk about some things. If you did see did anybody see the title of today's show? Because I got some news. There's 2 big stories that I heard this week. I was told by some sneaky Ford people that you guys are going to want to know about. So definitely hang out here for a little bit. But hopefully everybody is doing well. I want to say it's a Monday, but it's not. It's a Tuesday night, and hopefully everybody had a safe Halloween. I literally had 2 kids. I like an idiot. I didn't buy any candy. And Kelly was taking Sydney out to go trick-or-treating. And normally I go to the door, and do all that. And I felt kind of like an asshole. And I had a couple kids, even though I had all the lights shut off. And I'm not normally that guy. I forgot. And once it gets dark, I don't like driving out because of all the kids and stuff. And I just was a bad homeowner for Halloween. But hopefully everybody had a safe and awesome thing. I want to say Thanksgiving. No, Halloween. But let's see. We got all kinds of people in the show tonight. We might have a special guest joining in here in a little bit. We'll see if he pops in. But let's you know the drill. You know what's coming, right? Even though it's not me. It's you. Wait, are we breaking up? No, it's love that. It makes no sense, and I love that. Oh man. It's introduction time. I want to say hi to everybody in the chat so far. We've got Zach in, who's got he's got a November 14th build date. Hopefully that's your last build date. I don't know if you've been moved at Zach or not, but let's see. He says November 14th build date, hoping for my window sticker very soon. About 7 days out, Zach. So hold tight, man. Hold tight. And if you get that window sticker, remember, we did a video on how to read those window stickers. But we got Mr. Bronco Dude in the house. What is up, All Terrain Nation? Bronco Dude is everywhere. I see him in Johnny's Car Cares streams. I see him in, Long MacArthur or whatever it is, Ford streams. Like, I see him everywhere. Dude, you're killing it, man. We got Mr. Bronco 78, the classic Bronco 78 in the house. We got my neighbor there, Mr. John Burnett. Good evening, sir. Let's see who else we got going on. We got the Minahall Productions one. Okay, get that one in there. Let's see. Dirk is in the house. What is up, Dirk? I don't think I've said hi to you in a while, but what is going on? We've got Pure Blood Patriot 17. Let's see who else we got. We got Iconic Bronco in the house. We've got the one and only, the Savage, Miss Nikki Brewer. Go Buckeyes, Nikki. Jeffrey Babb is in the house. We got Bob in the house. We've got let's see, Nick in the house. What's going on, Nick? We've got Mr. Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk. Tim, do you have a minute to join in the stream? Because I'd like to bounce something off of you, and I would really, I think you want to be a part of this too. But got Positivity Wins. What's going on? Got all the classics in here. Miss Gia, what is going on? Gia. Jason is in the house. Man, I can't even keep up here. How does Kelly do this? I used to do this, and I don't even know. What's going on, Miss Allie Dubois? Miss Dubois? I'll never say that right, by the way. Let's see. We got Bryce in the house. What year is Ford going to doing the Bronco Shelby? He's asking. Everybody's telling Kelly to heal up. That's right. She does this a couple times a year, man. She's yes, Tim. I will let me get you a link real quick because you guys bear with me there because I want to talk. Tim is at SEMA right now, so I want to give him a couple minutes because well, that's what we do. He's probably tired, honestly. Tim is probably I don't know. He was drinking some expensive whiskey though. So is he? Is Mr. Tim? Let's see if we can get him in there. I just sent the link over, Tim. Sent the link over. But we got some exciting news, man. I've got some we've got some title sponsorship news. You know, I always tease that, but there's something I'm going to talk about today. Let me see if I can get Tim in here real quick though. There he is. There's the one, the only, the Savage today. Tim Esposito. What's up, buddy?
Hey, no, sorry. I was just thinking, man, I look dark. It's dark in Vegas, though. Should I show the guys my amazing hotel room?
Oh,
view?
yes. Yes.
I showed you this the other night, I thought. Did I do it on whatever? Hold on. Hop along. 5 miles today. I cannot
I know that.
Feet. And I have a bar thing in about 20 minutes or so. So I got a little bit of time. But
well, you get nice sunset there. I can almost see it.
Okay, this is the Cosmo. This is the balcony. I gotta be careful. I'm gonna lose my laptop over the side, but here
that
you
would
go,
be a great live stream, though. Oh, Tim's got the views, man. You really got the views. Somebody put I know Tim didn't spend that kind of money, so somebody put him up, and I'm very jealous. Look at that.
Yeah. So that I can go back inside.
Dude, you're killing me with this. Like the year you're always telling me, SEMA's, you know, it's SEMA. And the year I don't go, Tim goes. And a lot of my friends are going this year. But, Tim, I've got some news that I'd heard that I know you don't cover Broncos extensively like I do. But Ford is having some manufacturer issues. And it includes the wiring harnesses for Ranger, Bronco. And I was told one of their suppliers went out of business for their wiring harnesses.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that these lights are messed up. There we go. Relaxed lights.
No, I feel so much relaxed. But yes,
between
that. The fancy art. That is fancy art.
All I want to do is grab it and say, "Pull up your pants, dumbass." Yeah, I could see that. I mean, I was just with Ford doing the Raptor thing, and they confirmed they ran out of the ovals and the logo on the front. They're like, well, logos.
Yeah, so the wiring harnesses is an issue. They're not even, my understanding, producing Rangers right now because they don't have any harnesses to produce it with.
Yeah, I mean, manufacturing is such a mess right now. It'll be interesting how it plays out. I saw a bunch of Broncos today, as you would imagine.
No way. At SEMA?
Yeah, kind of surprising. Shocker. And a bunch of Sequoias and a Tundra. I mean, it's like it's the whatever's going on. But I
watched your video, the CBI. I love the CBI build. One that you at first you didn't call it the CBI build, you called it something else.
I called it something else, and then TRD John was next to me over here. I'm talking, so we're kind of sharing notes because some of that stuff I'm not as aware as other people are. But yeah, there's I could. You know, it's frustrating right now as a journalist because I'm reviewing vehicles that you can't buy.
Yeah, they can produce like a dozen at a time.
Yeah, and so I'll make an announcement for you guys tonight. I know you're doing a Raptor Mountain thing, but my truck's being built right now.
What did you get? What did you order? I don't know what you've ordered.
Oh, because I haven't talked about it, Dave.
Oh,
I'm giving you an exclusive here, Dave.
Ooh, exclusive.
My buddy Dave. So yeah, apparently it's in production in Fort Wayne, Indiana. I'm buying the Chevy Silverado in the new 3-liter diesel, the LZ0 diesel. And nice. I'm doing the high country for the primary purpose that it has better seats. And also,
because you're not a fan of GM seats.
No. And also, this time around, I wanted the higher trim to talk about all the new features. One of the things I feel like the Tundra Limited I bought was not high enough trim level. I didn't get like the AVS. I didn't get like the hybrid. I didn't get that stuff. So in this case, I'm spending the dollars, yo. And I had conversations today with Recaro, conversations with Bilstein, and conversations with Rough Country. And so I may drive it home stock or I may not drive it home stock. I don't know.
Well, that's pretty cool because you actually have put a level kit on your Toyota and stuff. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. Also coming out that I will say it's coming out. I guess I'm breaking this, but Ford, they're even the manufacturer that does their fender flares, those big ugly fender flares for the Raptors. They're almost out of business. Like they can't even get fender flares right now. So they're stacking up Raptors on what I don't know if you remember, they used to call it the Ice Mountain, whatever, Mud Mountain, where they keep all these things for the MAP plant. But yeah, now they're starting to stack up Raptors because they're having problems getting the damn ugly fender flares.
So that was interesting. I was going to ask you today about this, and I ran out of time, but I got a message from Best Top, and Best Top has fender flares for the Bronco. They're showing them off today on the show floor, and I was like, well, if you were here, I would have done, we'd done a video on it, but I didn't make it over there. I mean, I showed on my Facebook. I walked over 5 miles today. I got lost about 3 times, which is pretty good for me.
Trying to get into registration's a nightmare there.
Well, luckily I'm hosted, and so my registration was in my hand before I went. But even then, I mean, trying to figure out the Central Hall, the West Hall, the South Hall, whatever. We did do the Tesla loop under the ground, Tesla loop thing.
That's fun.
Yeah, I don't understand the purpose of it, but it was interesting.
Yeah. I will say, getting from one end to the next, I did use it last year a couple times. Getting from, because it seemed like they would be, all the press releases seem to happen at the like within 15 minutes of each other. And they're all on, and that place is like 10 football fields. It's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. And so, trying to find stuff. And so, I could see, like, to your point, I haven't heard the news and manufacturing issues. I don't really hear some of that stuff, occasionally, but I could see it being really behind. And the question I have is like, it's like, I think I was on a list to get a Bronco Raptor for press loan, but I'm not even sure those really have enough to make the rounds. So they can't even show us what they're going to be, and then you can't even build it. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with that.
Yeah, but people, they still don't think, there's a lot of people think by 2023, the pandemic's over, blah blah blah. But now we've got, like, I didn't know it till a couple of weeks ago that most of the wiring harnesses seem to come from the Ukraine. Like they, for whatever reason, it's cheap labor. I don't know.
Right. I mean, I think one of the things people don't realize is this happened a lot during like the bailout years. It's not auto manufacturers that's a problem. It's all the part suppliers, and part suppliers are global. And then what's happened over the years is automakers have really invested in part suppliers, which means you have less variety. So like the Takata airbag is a great example of this. Takata owns the airbag market. And so when they had to recall all their airbags, well, every brand had a recall. And people were like, well, Chevy's got to recall again, this darn Takata airbag. And I'm like, no, they all are recalling the same airbag. It's just there's not as many diversity in suppliers as you'd imagine. And the suppliers are getting bigger and bigger. Like Recaro, for example. I mean, they're getting more in the commercial side of business. Their seats. I saw Recaro commercial grade seats in a transit van at a Toyo Tires booth, and those seats look super comfortable. I've been in many transit vans, and I've been in Mercedes-Benz Sprinter vans. Those seats suck, right? And so I'm like, the commercial guys want a comfortable seat too. And so I wasn't surprised to see that. And then Bilstein's doing more and more. I mean, these suppliers are becoming they're tier 1 suppliers, already big suppliers, but they're all looking to grow as well. And so, and then Toyota announced today, interesting program. They're going to do accessories through the dealership from different auto things like Dometic and like I don't know what Dometic stands in my mind, but anyways, you'll be able to buy your accessories at the dealer, have them all installed before you drive off. But the thing is, they're not going to put their white label. So a lot of brands do a white label, which means it's an aftermarket supplier, but they don't want to tell you what the supplier is.
Right.
This is a really dramatic shift. They're gonna put Toyota part numbers on like the Dometic fridge,
right?
And you're able to order it. That's a big shocker because brands have always been like, no, I can't tell you.
Probably for warranty work and any warranty stuff, it's easier for Toyota probably to track that kind of stuff. And
well, it is, and it's like, so I was talking to people about it, and you're gonna buy this stuff anyways, probably during the course of ownership or whatever. Now you can buy it when it's done. Instead of putting on a credit card, you put it all on your loan. I mean, you're upside down more often, but frankly, in today's market, I mean, I'm going to buy that Silverado, drive it off lot, and I'll probably be able to go down the street and sell it for more money I drove off lot for. I mean, that's today's market is the way it is. So it's like, if you're going to buy that stuff anyways, why not just buy it in a loan and pay it off a little bit and move from there? But I understand.
I don't know. I've got a Gladiator that I haven't gotten the offer to make me let go of it just yet. So I'm still waiting on that one.
Well, yeah.
But you're not a Gladiator guy either. So
no, I mean, Gladiator's cool. I mean, it's I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what turns out the vehicle. I heard early on it was going to be just a one model year vehicle or one.
Yeah.
It's not going to be refreshed, but I don't know. I think that's I think that's going to be key. If they refresh it, then there's a marketplace for that. But I don't know if they can refresh it.
Right. So, anything stand out with Broncos at SEMA?
Let's see. Can you lift them any higher? Can you put bigger tires on them? Can you go
Right.
ahead and gold plate the entire suspension? I mean, yeah, it's interesting. I think I was here, or I saw photos last year. I don't think I came last year, but I feel like maybe you were here. I forget. You came one year.
I was here last year.
Yeah, you saw a ton of Broncos last year. This year, you see like a quarter of them, right? Because that's how SEMA works. Is they
Yeah.
buy new vehicles, they build them up, put parts on them, they take them to SEMA, they show them off, they sell them when they're done, and start over again, rinse, repeat.
Yeah.
And so I didn't see as many Broncos as I've seen in the past. Obviously, lots more electric vehicles. I mean, there's tons of concepts with that. And I did a video today because Jeep is doing a new, basically a crate program electric battery conversion they're trying to figure out. And it's always funny because I had a Jeep Wrangler, and I was like, when you get this EV done, you need to get some bunch of rubber bushings. And the guy's like, "What do you mean?" I said, "Rubber washing, rubber bushings." And he says, "I said, look, this thing's gonna rattle like a son of a bitch because you can't. The engine's gone, right? So if it's gonna drive quietly, your build quality. I'm sorry, the build quality of Jeep Wrangler is not amazingly high, right?
Right.
And so you're gonna have to take the door fenders off and the fenders off, and we put new bushings in there because it's gonna rattle like a son of a bitch." And I just know that from I was at Toyota in California. They took a Kenworth and put 2 Mirai batteries in it and did a hydrogen truck. Well, they had to do so much to the body panels that Kenworth to get it to stop creaking, because Kenworth is used to having the diesel sound in the engine. You never hear the creaking.
Right.
And that's why I tell people, there was like, I'm gonna take their classic vehicle, make it EV. I'm like, you better get out some, duct tape and some bushings and such, because it's gonna sound like a rattle like crazy. It's just, that's what the byproduct of it is. But I saw a few of those. I did not see any. I didn't see anything that I didn't see any crazy like Bronco Raptor builds, which I maybe I missed it or whatever. But I thought they'd have some there. I mean, so they already have
one. I know if Max Slider is an aftermarket guys, they have one there, but no, I haven't seen a ton of stuff.
Yeah,
that way.
And usually it surprised me because usually brands reach out early on and they get people to SEMA to build them out because it builds excitement. But I didn't see much of that. I saw a couple Lightning builds. It's just
I hate to call those builds because there's nothing build about. Like, I will say this: I saw that Ford donated a Bronco to a ladies thing where they could build it, and what and this is kind of crapping on all SEMA builds, but what they call a build anymore is like a sticker package, some off-road wheels, and that's about it. And I don't know the specifics on this ladies one, but I just happened to it dawned on me of what they've done. Like, you throw a rooftop tent on it now on an off-road build, and suddenly that's a build, and I'm like, you bought all bolt-on parts. Like, I don't know, where's the customization?
Well, and you saw the Toyota video. I mean, there's several of those that you just slap on tires and put lift on it, you're done. I mean,
yeah,
I don't know. It wasn't as I got to preface this. I've been to SEMA several times, and so I've done the show many times in places. So I'm a little bitter, maybe like a lot, towards builds and things. And so what makes me go wow these days is a lot less than what used to.
yeah.
And so, I'm sure there was some. I mean, I was walking around outside, and you could take 1,000 photos, right? I mean, you just really can. And I was like, people be freaking out about stuff, but anymore, I'm like, you lifted it, you put tires on it, okay, good. I mean, it's just you really, these builders have to go a little bit, push the bar a little bit more these days, because they're just the white noise from this stuff is just, it's extreme.
Well, there's the Brodozer crowd. They were small last year, but from what I can tell, the Brodozers, the Carolina squat guys, are kind of out there again. But I'm always amazed at the lack of drive shafts. That they just got to push them into where they go, because there's no physical way these trucks would ever drive normally. But I was curious about the Broncos and that, and I did want your feedback on that. One last question before you go: how much was that whiskey you drank last night?
Okay. Hold on. Let me tell the story here. So the story goes like this. I was at a GM event in Santa Barbara, I think it was, or San Diego, where the hell the place was. And I got the whiskey menu, and on the whiskey menu was a Boss Hog 7. Mm-hmm. Now, I had never heard of this whiskey before, and I actually know that much still about it. But It was $230 a shot. And so I was like, oh
Wow.
my gosh, I can't do that. So last night we're at dinner, and I was asking the team about their budget. So this is inside baseball, but every time we go to a private dinner, they have a liquor budget and they have a food budget, and they basically prepay that. So last night at dinner, about half of the people didn't show up because we had done a walk around of the Toyota concepts. We were back in the room writing that stuff up because the embargo was first thing in the morning. I totally got it. Totally got it, right? Dinner or get your work done, embargo 6 a.m. in the morning. You gotta get, whatever. And so I was sitting there and I was like, I really want to try that whiskey. I just want to try it. So I've been waiting for a brand to have a budget. And so I said to her, my friend, PR friend, I said, where are we at? And the waiter comes over and she's talking about it a little bit. And then, so the head of PR comes over, and I know him pretty well. And he's like, what are you talking? So we had this whole conversation, this whole like in-depth conversation. And she's like, all right, she gets some of the bartender, the server. She goes, all right, give him what he wants. Well, so I was like, all right, here we go. So I said, I can't take this shot by myself. So I looked around the room and we counted up. So we have 5 glasses. Well, somebody yelled double, and that's what they brought.
Oh. Oh.
So yeah, so I had it neat with a double, and he brought ice cubes. We tossed the ice cubes right immediately, and I took and we passed around. We all poured it down. So we all had about this much of that whiskey. And I will tell you, I've drinking some high-end whiskeys, but this was at another level. You took a sip, and the back of your tongue was hot, and then the heat went down a little bit, and just explosion of flavors. Like I couldn't even I was like, it's like a wood, smoky with a little citrus. I couldn't even identify everything. And so
Right.
then it's going down your esophagus, and we're all sitting there looking around each other, right? We're all taking a sip, looking around, and going this, and we all stopped talking because this thing going down your esophagus was like some sort of alien looking thing. You're like, you had to pause, take a break. And then we finished the last piece. So I only had out of what is a 1.5 thing of 1.5 ounce or whatever. Man, I only had like 2 minor sips, but it was plenty. But I realized with that whiskey, you don't even, I don't know if you can pour a shot of it without a shot would take me about an hour and a half to drink. Because it's
that's I love whiskey, and I have partially that for you to blame on that, but there's at no point am I going down that road of but I do understand the budget thing, because I did that with Nissan a few times. Like the whole budget thing, me and Danny were at their bar, and finally the bartender's like, look, man, you guys have reached that number. And I remember leaning over to Wendy Orthman going, hey, really, Wendy? That's it? And she's like, just give them what they want. Just because she knew we were good for it, as far as like we were going to be nice to them. But no, like it is amazing. Like, but some journalists, I don't know if you saw Doug DeMuro did a kind of like he did a whole story on what it's like, the behind the scenes stuff, which, I know some people are curious about, but Doug's position on he thinks you should pay for everything, and I don't want to get into that, but there's a video Doug DeMuro did on that was, I was just kind of like, you're only telling half truths of some of this stuff, Doug. Like you're positioning yourself into that. But hey, if a manufacturer wants to buy me a $200 glass of whatever, bring it on, man.
Let me say this one piece about Doug. Not to knock him. I've been doing this job for over a decade, and I've never met Doug at an event. I've never actually met Doug.
Yeah.
So
you met Scotty Kilmer.
I met Scotty, but I mean, to me, whatever Doug's saying, I take it with a grain of salt, because he's always at home viewing it from his lens at home.
Yeah.
And until you're out doing this job, I mean, this job is not always physically taxing. It's for mentally taxing. And I happen to know the behind the scenes trick there. And I mean, I made it work. But yeah, it was pretty.
Well, till Doug shows up to one of these Texas events that we go to and has to quickly go through like 5 or 6 cars. That's mentally, that will wear you out in a heartbeat of trying to be interesting, and you've got 4 other cars sitting in front of you need to get to. So yeah.
Well, I mean, I got to leave here in a couple minutes. I get actually leave here about now, but I have to go to drinks and dinner tonight, which I know sounds like, oh my God, whatever. But I was on my feet for 5 miles today, and I'm a good night thing. I got to make sure I'm, entertaining and on point.
Yep.
And then I'm going straight to bed after dinner because I have to be up at 7:45 for a transfer. I get to Denver like around noon, pick up a car. I'll be home by about 4, I think.
Yeah.
in the afternoon. And then when I get home, I got to edit a video and put it up on the channel because I need to have some fresh content. So,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, wham, first world problems, but this is still a job at the end of the day. And
Yeah.
people like, I'm sure Doug's a really nice guy. He is learning more as he's been home with COVID, getting cars, press lawns, actually doing the job a little bit more. But he's in a very privileged part of his business. But I got to
Well,
run. I
go
got to
do your
go.
thing. I appreciate the
Yep.
couple minutes, Tim, and I'm sure I'll reach out to you later and find all the goodies out.
All right. Peace.
Later, man. There was Mr. Tim with Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk, and I always thank Tim when he stops by. I've got another special guest here. Like the guests just keep rolling in, and this one really doesn't need an introduction, but I'm going to do it anyways. This is the Madman with his little boy. They were freezing, or I think Dwayne was freezing his tail off at Overland meet. But what is going on, Mr. Driven Wild Outdoors?
How is it going, Dave? Can you hear me already?
Oh yeah, I hear you great, man.
Yeah, so I'm still thawing from that like month ago trip.
You
now,
look like
I
it.
swear.
You look cold at the moment.
Yeah. I'm just like have on my dark horse, by the way. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Nice,
we
man.
had to leave Detroit with some dark horse Mustang swag. So
Of course.
Pretty cool.
Obviously, you guys know, if you know my channel, you know Dwayne over there with Driven, formerly Bronco Wild Outdoors, but now it's Driven because he's got the Mustang stuff on. He's gonna expand. But Dwayne, I wanted to get into it with you a little bit because obviously Tim is a bigger picture guy, but me and you are more in the trenches with Bronco. So I'm hearing Raptor fenders. They can't get them. Like they're having issues now getting the fenders. And obviously, I said, I don't know if you heard it earlier, they're having problems getting wiring harnesses for Ranger, which I have to think it bleeds into a little bit of Bronco. Like I know it's not,
Yeah.
it's a completely different loom to that, but they're if they can't produce any Rangers right now, and all they can produce is Broncos. We already know the shortages. Now you've got a line with the ability to really crank them out because that's all they're building. And now it's always been part shortages, and now what do we do?
Well, I was see. I didn't know that. I'm glad you told me that earlier.
Yeah.
I said it earlier. I heard it on your show, but you remember the hitch issue. We really didn't know for sure, but we didn't think it was the actual hardware. We thought it was the harness for the hitch.
Yep.
Remember when the hitch hiccup? Say that a couple times. And but I did not know about the Ranger wiring harness. Now, what that's probably going to do, I would imagine, is it's going to mess up the transition next year, right? Because if they literally can't build them for long enough, there's units that they had to get built and get done.
Right.
So how does that affect the overall schedule now and the switchover?
Right. Well, maybe it's a plus and a minus to that because at some point you have to, Ranger sales are tanking right now anyways, because once the general public get a sniff that something new's coming,
right,
other than fleet people, they just stop buying the vehicle. That's why it's always important. We like to break news, and I know you like to break news if you can, but it's kind of important sometimes that Ford and these other manufacturers keep some secrets because they don't want to tank sales. Like there's a certain amount of product they have to buy from their aftermarket or their make extra manufacturers, and so they don't want to be stuck with a bunch. And but if they can't produce them, I kind of see it as a plus. But the struggles, we know the struggles, and with Raptor, I'd heard rumors that the people that were doing the wiring harnesses for Ranger went out of business. I don't know. I don't have any second sources on any of this. I just wanted to talk about it tonight. But my understanding is for the potentially that the Raptor company that's building the fender flares for the Raptor, or maybe one source of it, is about out of business.
Well, and I mean, the fender flares, seriously?
Yep.
Now, is that the same company that makes the flares for the base Bronco?
I
Or the standard Broncos?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I see. I didn't know that, so we don't have a build date for our Raptor. So it's probably, and I just got rid of Lux, and we got rid of the beadlock wheels, which I'm kind of belly aching over that one. But who knows? Maybe we'll get one next year. I mean, it'll be a 23, but at what time next year? So, would you know where the company's located that does the harness?
I heard this earlier today, so I haven't had time to kind of research this.
Gotcha.
And once again, I do not have a second source on this, but my source is pretty close to
good.
the
Yeah.
situation. So I kind of feel like it's a pretty good source. But speaking of sources, we've got the main source here. We've got Miss Allie Dubois. What is going on, girl? Oh, no sound. I've got you muted, I guess. I don't know. Nope, it's not me. There you go. Maybe. Allie's got herself muted. We'll bring Allie in when she hops back in. But I kind of wanted to. This brings us. This is a good. It'll be a good triangle of like me and you talk and Allie's, because I seen she talked about it in the chat that she had some Rangers canceled. So it might make sense that why some of this is going on. But Dwayne, how I haven't really got to talk to you much since your trip to Frozen Land. How
North Pole
was that? I'm jealous. I've wanted to go to that event for the past 8-9 years it's been going on.
Well, let me tell you something. There's, your imagination runs wild when you think about what people can come up with in modified vehicles. I had no idea, because I've just really started trying to get into the overlanding aspect of things. I had no idea there was so much stuff about that. Here, let me turn my volume off of my phone. All right, so first of all, the overlanding trailers where you tow behind. That was probably the coolest thing in the world, because you can, and they even go through when you pack it at home before you head out to the trails or the campsite, so that when you get to the campsite, you don't have to unpack stuff and then repack it, right? You don't have to unpack to get to something that you need to stabilize the trailer. Everything is right where it needs to be.
Right.
And the way it's stored is so it's first off, first use type thing. And of course, we did a video that we're waiting on some noise correction, because there was a lot of background noise. Like we had, I think at Townsend, we had some obnoxious noises behind us we had to get rid of. But once I get that done, there is something called the Wonder Box, and it's WONDER, Wonder Box. And it is a huge, I'm not going to insult it and call it a camper. It's like a house on wheels. I think it was an F600 cab with an extended frame. And so this is a $350,000 to $600,000 unit, depends on how you build it. But the clientele
did you see any of the Unimogs? You can't miss them. They're big Mercedes like houses on wheels.
I'll send you a picture in the messenger here in a little bit. If Allie starts talking about a subject, and I'll see if I can find it and send it and see if that's it. But no, it was very cool. I mean, it was some awesome stuff. There was the man, I'm drawing a blank. The new vehicle, Ineos.
The Grenadier or whatever they call it.
Grenadier.
Yeah.
Ineos Grenadier. I tell you what, that is like a farm fresh, old school Discovery.
Yeah.
Glass hatches over the front and passenger driver side. The doors like an 80/20 rear door. So you have the big door, and then you just to getting small stuff in and out, you open the small door. It's a really cool vehicle. Powered by BMW.
Allie, can we hear you now?
I don't know. Can you? Are we good?
There we go. That's an amazing shirt you have on, by the way. And it was coincidence. I remember you saying, "Hey, I actually have that shirt on."
I was literally just hanging out, actually going over my canceled orders tonight. So,
well, I was talking about hearing that the harnesses, especially for Ranger, have been potentially put on hold for a little bit, and now you're hearing that orders are being canceled, right?
Yeah, so I mean, I had Ranger and Escapes canceled, which sucks because I had 4 Escape people actually have builds for like 22 model year, and they had build dates. They were all supposed to be October. Haven't had an update. Well, come to find out, they're canceled. So now they get to move to 23, and it sucks. I have one girl right now who totaled her car. Ooh. And she's been waiting since March to have her car. And so, like, when we say it's not just Bronco, unfortunately, it's not just Bronco, but I had a bunch of build dates for Rangers, and now they're all to be determined. So we weren't given an answer of why. They just pushed them out until who knows? So
Yeah. Well, so
Oh,
like I was
no.
telling Tim Estrell, a lot of that stuff's built in Ukraine right now, and sadly, all the stuff going on over there is now
Yeah.
starting to disrupt. And maybe that's why America supports that a little bit more than I know a lot of people would like. But we actually buy a lot from that country. So,
Yeah.
but I'm also hearing like there's about to be a big Raptor mountain that fenders
it
are.
wouldn't. It honestly wouldn't surprise me at this point. I feel so bad. I know Nikki's in here and Gia's in here, and I know them because we talk a lot through the Michigan Bronco Club and stuff.
Mhm.
But I feel so bad for everybody. Like this isn't how it's supposed to go.
Yeah.
Everyone, like, we're having a big event this weekend at Hollyoaks, and like I straight up told people, I'm like, if you don't have your Bronco, like I don't care, come. Like,
Right.
just to be around the community and the people, like, the people's what does it for me. Like, everyone's been so fantastic. But yeah, it doesn't surprise me. But at the same time, I do know Bronco does prioritize over Ranger. It is what it is. I've seen it the past year and a half.
Yeah.
So if they're running out of parts, I'm not surprised that they're canceling a lot of these.
Yeah, well, and Ranger, of course, is at the end of its life cycle. Me and Dwayne were talking about that a little bit. And by the way, Dwayne, Allie, Dwayne.
Hey,
Actually,
Allie.
I know Dwayne. We ran into each other at Woodward and the Mustang reveal. Like, literally, I ran into one of his shots, I think.
Yeah, she was in one of the videos. I was like, "Hey, I know you." Yeah, up at Hart Plaza, which was it was a great opportunity to be there.
That was so fun. It was such a good time.
It was my first
Like
vehicle launch to be there.
6 degrees of Allie and Dwayne here. It's like everybody's met everybody except nobody's met everybody at once.
Exactly.
Well, yeah,
kind of.
That's right. But yeah, Woodward, the first time Dream Cruise, and then that was pretty cool. But hey, Allie, how are you again?
I'm good. How are you?
So Allie, I'm assuming, like you were saying earlier, this is now a bummer for some customers who, like Ranger. I know there's a big fleet side to Ranger.
There is a big fleet side to Ranger. There's also I mean, I've had people put their orders in, like we said, in like March and April, who still don't have VIN numbers, and they're kind of getting tossed to the side. And it's so hard from like a sales point of view, because it's like, obviously we want you to take the car, but like I'd be getting pissed too. Like there's no hiding that, like, at all. And like we can't really get answers. So
well, speaking of answers, oh, go ahead, Dwayne.
I was just going to say, think about it from the business point of view, that you need that vehicle for that crew, that team member, somebody you're bringing on, and now you're out hunting for used stuff. And if it's a service vehicle where you put a lot of miles on it in a short period of time, having that older used vehicle is not best business practice.
Oh, well, absolutely. And then on top of it too, like, if anything goes wrong, like I've had service customers, granted, yes, we service, like, in our main shop, it's mainly Ford. If you bring in a Chevy, we're gonna outsource it, because half the time we can't get the stuff. But we have people waiting anywhere from 3 months to 6 months for an engine.
Yeah.
Like, if your car goes down right now, you're done. Like, I always, like, I joke with people, but I also, like, hope they take it seriously. I'm like, don't break it, don't crash it, don't do anything I can't fix, because, like, I cannot replace your Bronco right now.
Well, then you know what happens? People are going to start turning those vehicles over to a bank, is what's going to happen. Like, that's just how it seems to work. People are like, all right, not my problem. Get rid of it. I'll worry about my credit score, in a couple of years. Like, they just will start screwing everybody over.
Well, yeah, and the repo rate has gone up dramatically anyway.
Oh yeah. Well, it's the recession. It's not a recession, Dwayne.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, yeah, right.
I think all three of us in our own unique businesses, understand what's going on there.
Yeah, and I freak out because I have an abundance mindset in life. And so with every day you can't get something, or this is backlogged, or 25 days of this or that, or, limited inventory, that's like nails on a chalkboard for me, because, I like creating stuff, and everywhere I turn, there's roadblocks and dead ends. Sucks.
Yeah.
Well, so Allie, I'm still number one, right?
Yes. I don't know. Well, now if Rangers aren't being built, I don't know.
No, but that's the new Ranger. We're still months away.
Oh, is that Ranger Raptor?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh my
Oh yeah.
God, you're gonna get them started. Here we go.
No, I won't go there. But how excited were you? You were privately messaging me. We were like little school kids, like all excited with the teasers that Ford Performance was throwing out there.
But I kind of knew that was coming though, because we talked about it. They did the same
Yeah.
thing with the Bronco. I mean, it's coming and it's awesome.
Yeah.
But we're like one step closer to being able to like actually launch the Ranger Raptor here, and it's gonna be so cool.
Do you think is it next winter, at the end of the winter sometime, you think? I mean, any
Spring.
ideas? Do
Spring.
what?
Spring.
Spring. Well, I know that's, and I know job one is May for the new all the Rangers. So I mean, at some point they're not gonna pull a, hey, here it is, and oh, now get your orders in tomorrow because we're producing them starting next week kind of thing, is it?
No, it'll be the same thing like Raptor R. There'll be an allocation list, things like that. They'll launch it just like any other Raptor that they have. There won't be any reservations or anything like that. So don't worry, you're on the list. You're number one. We'll call you.
She's about to give me the wrong number one with this, is what she, every time I bug her about it.
Yeah,
No.
no, you're going to be on the number one for the 24 Maverick, Dave.
Oh, well,
Oh
I mean,
shit!
hey,
That's what that was.
That's what it was. It was the wrong list.
oh, the
It's one
the
of
Maverick R. Yeah, the
It's
Maverick
it's
R.
one of the smaller trucks. I couldn't
Hey,
remember.
You mentioned the fleet vehicles for the Ranger. There are a ton of companies using the Mavericks. We have an
Oh my
entire
God, I know.
we have an entire city here that is switching all their building departments, code compliance, utilities, and stuff like that. They're switching all their smaller vehicles to Mavericks. So
I've seen so many more on the road, and it makes me so happy, but it also like bums me out because that's where a lot of their cars went to, was fleet and bigger companies and things
Yeah.
like that, which granted, yes, they are customers too. But I've
Right.
also seen how much longer other people have waited. So that's just the other flip side to that. But I get Ford's position on why they got to do it. But
Oh,
those
yeah.
were also, a lot of them were like XLs, bare bones. There's no options type of a thing. So
Yeah, and I'm seeing, I know this is more of a Ford thing, but I'm seeing a lot of the goofy Hyundai Santa Cruises as like pool companies and stuff are using those things. And it's kind of weird.
well, see, here's the thing. Like up in Michigan, like I don't really see too much of that. Like
Yeah.
I have a
Well,
Honda
you
dealer.
guys don't have seasons. You just have
Yeah.
hot or cold.
We have winter and summer.
construction.
That's it.
Yeah, winter and construction.
Shit, I forgot. 3. We have 3. But I even work next to a Honda dealership, and I'll message her. My mom's niece works there, and like I'll message her because like when people compare, I'll like ask payments and stuff. I'm like, hey, what is this leasing for? Like realistically, like no BS, and she'll tell me. And she came and saw a Maverick, and she like pointed out all the reasons why she liked the Maverick better than the little Hyundai or whatever. I'm just like, well,
Yeah.
like I don't know what to tell you. We can't get them, so.
It doesn't matter. Honestly, either company, it doesn't matter which one you like. You're not getting one for a while. So,
Hey, I have a question for Allie, Dave.
yeah, go ahead,
boy.
man.
So, Allie, I removed Lux from my Raptor, and we went from the beadlock capable wheels to the standard all black. What do you think? Is that going to help? And I did the Lux for another reason, but that should help us, right?
It's gonna help a lot because Lux is what's holding a lot of things up. But beadlock wheels as well. That's another thing that's a huge restraint on them. I even know for like just normal Bronco builds, if you have Sasquatch right now or beadlock capable wheels, like it's not getting built.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Allie, I know you got a short amount of time here. I want to say your best top fenders look pretty good.
I love them. I'm so excited for them. I was getting a lot of hate on them though. Holy shit.
Really?
Yeah, there's a lot of people bashing them.
There's, I used to be one of those guys early on in my my forum days, and just like you're like, it's not cool if it's not the hardcore thing, it's not cool. But anymore, like if people are happy with the way they customize their vehicle, so be it, man. I mean, it may not be for me.
That's the one thing I've learned with all of this, because granted, like this is the first time I've ever customized a car. Plain and simple. And I've seen, if I don't like it, I'm not gonna comment and be like, "Oh, that rig's a piece of shit." Like, no, I don't care. That's not my car. I could care less.
Right.
So I think it's really funny, a lot of the people that hide behind the keyboard and talk mad crap. But
Yeah.
then, like, I guarantee you, if you talk to them in person, they're not gonna talk to you like that in person. I'm just like, all right, like, you can be mad and like do whatever you want and like talk all your game, but in reality, you're not gonna do that in person. So I just
Yeah,
think
well,
it's funny, but I love them, and it's funny. A lot of people have also called me out because, yes, my Bronco has leaked. Everyone knows what I'm testing.
Are
But
you
a
allowed to
lot of
talk
people
about that yet?
close. I mean, SEMA's happening right now.
When does that part debut?
It should be on SEMA cars right now. I don't know cost or anything like that, but I am testing the Sunrider top. For anybody who doesn't know, it is for the 4-door. When I went to go put my fenders on, they tweaked a couple of things on it. But I've got nothing but amazing feedback from anyone who's gone to the events that I've been at. We went to Taos. We're going to Hollyoaks this weekend. And people have already asked me, they're like, "Well, you didn't put your hard top back on, right?" I'm like, "Nope, I'm taking this off top just so people can see it and give me customization and stuff." So
GS says Bronco 6G was being horrible to you and another lady. That's
Yeah.
it's a horrible forum, man. Let's be honest. Like both,
they're
I
assholes.
pick it Bronco Nation because it's corporate and it's it's not Ford, but
Yeah.
it's under the guidance of Ford. But the other one's just like it's a bunch of trolls half the time. That there's some great information, especially at the release of Bronco. There was really some good inside information popping in there
Yeah.
somehow. Somebody got fired over it that I know that shouldn't have been popping that information out, but like don't trash everybody for this because I like the Sunriser top that they put on yours. And for those that don't know, it's like it's a 4-door top. It's not just the front two, it's the full
Yeah.
two 4 doors that it rises back, which is really
So
cool. My only bummer with it is, can they not do it in a dark gray to match the damn roofs? That's
MIC.
my only thing about it.
I mean, I've talked to them about it. I haven't gotten an answer about it. That's the number one thing people have asked me. They're like, "Well, is there going to be a gray one?" I don't have the answer to that. They
Right.
haven't disclosed that.
You're not Allie Best Top. That's not your best top's not your last name.
I mean, shit. I wish I was. I wouldn't be working at a dealership. I'll tell you that much. But I mean, they have some cool ideas and like cool products. And again, diving down into this, like to see what actually goes into it, it's just kind of remarkable, to be honest.
Right.
But I mean, any type of feedback, even if it's like the tiniest little thing, the guys I'm talking to, they'll write it down, they'll take it into consideration, and like I'll send them random pictures, videos, like you name it. And overall, I didn't really know what to expect with the soft top because again, I've had a hard top and I've never owned a Jeep. I've only driven in my mom's and I've hated it. So I didn't have a great comparison, I guess. So it's been fun.
Well, you're on the right show then, Allie.
Yeah.
You've chosen well.
You're in good company.
Oh, perfect.
So, Becky saw that. She saw your post. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I said that's why I hopped on tonight. There we go.
Yeah, Becky saw that and she really likes the idea for her Bronco, with the MIC top. That would make it a lot easier for her to get, to get some open air, right? So
yeah, and that was my thing.
I think we're a client.
I know. That was my thing. Like I've been stuck 3 times. I think 3 times without the top, and it's been like downpouring. So like I get it. It's a part of the experience. Like my Bronco wasn't damaged and stuff, but it's just one of those things that makes it a lot easier to just hurry up, close it if it does start raining.
TJ Miller asked, how hard was it to install and remove? I'm assuming Best Top put this on, seeing how they were doing some product testing on it.
They did. So I actually never put this on my vehicle. They did it for me. So I watched and it looked impressive. It looks like I could do it by myself, but did I know? So I can't comment on that part. And plus the one that I got literally came from Colorado. Like it was the first one they even had in their garage. So you had all the engineers were all over my Bronco.
Right.
Which was actually kind of cool.
Dirty fingers off there.
Yeah.
I'm very protective over my Bronco, so it's very hard to just like let them have it. I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah, don't scratch the paint. Well, I've already had someone locally reach out to us that builds some parts, and we'll have a video out on that next week. And they said, hey, we'd like to have your Raptor for a few days whenever you get it. And it's sort of an engine shop, so I'm like, I have to sleep in the back seat while it's sitting there.
Hey, Dwayne, can you
Like-
run the show for a second?
Yeah, I sure can.
Like you'll hide cameras and stuff like in the Bronco.
Yeah, like, well, check, I'll have to check its location, GPS, and see like how fast were you going. No, but it's pretty cool. I have a great opportunity next week to film something, and we're putting it on our Bronco, and they happen to be right here where we're located in southeastern Virginia, so it's pretty cool. So how did you started working at the dealership? And of course, I'm sorry, I don't know your backstory. How long?
You're good. I've been with my company, so I'm at Brighton Ford. I'm in Michigan. I've been with them for 7 years. To be completely honest, it was kind of a happy accident that I stumbled on them. I actually worked for Rusty Walls Racing Experience for 2 years prior. So I got to travel all over the US. Like, I love cars. I've always been more of a tomboy in my family. So, like, the fact that I'm now working at a dealer, my family's not surprised. I was more surprised. But my dad's one of those people, like, when I was coming home, like, I have to have something lined up or he's going to murder me.
Yeah, so now then the Bronco happened, and you're like, hey, this is me. And then you get to start selling them. And
yeah, it wasn't even that, though. I got called into my GM's office, and I thought I was in trouble.
Uh-oh.
So he had told me, he goes, hey, we have a new car coming out. And like, I knew Bronco was happening. I had a manager who had them, and I had an owner who had them, but I was too intimidated to ask them about it because, again, a woman in the auto industry, they kind of just look down on you. It is what it is. We just kind of get used to it. You just have to build thick skin is what it is.
Yeah.
So he pulls me aside and he goes, hey, you're going to be a Bronco specialist. And like, I had been saving for a Bronco. So like, I knew this was coming, and I'm like, holy shit, yes, I'll do it. Awesome. So I kind of took the role and ran with it. And that's when I got to go to Texas and do everything. And then honestly, Mike Clouds in Texas, who runs off rodeo down there, him and his wife really taught me everything that I know. And I talk to them almost weekly, sometimes a couple times a day. But it's one of those things that I took it and ran with it. And I never thought I would love and be so obsessed with a car. And yet here I am, and I'm overly obsessive, and it's great.
Well, hey, Dave, before I turn the keys back over to you, I have one more question. And thanks everyone for saying hello to me. Dave show. I don't want to go through all the names, but if you said hello to me tonight, thank you. I do see the comments over here. But Allie, are you seeing the interest in 23 for new orders? People waiting to place a new order that hasn't ever been a part of this reservation or ordering system?
Yep. So as of right now, I have 28 people, and this is just me, not my whole dealership. Wow. I have 28 orders I have sitting on my desk waiting to get pushed through, because I assume, granted, we have no idea what that order bank is going to look like and what we can do. As of right now, I have those people just waiting to put their orders so they can start waiting. They know it's going to be a year. I've already warned them. I'm like... like, do not expect
save
this
up some money
soon.
I always wonder from the business point of view, when will Ford hit the gas again on the advertisement? Right. So
why spend that money?
Well, I mean, I think, internal numbers they'll see, right, when the order bank's open, they'll see where they're at. Right. And maybe that'll be, but I'm all about momentum. And once you have it, you want to keep it. However, unfortunately, they had to slow things down.
When was the last Wrangler commercial you saw, though, Dwayne?
Oh,
I can tell you. I can tell you, it was like Super Bowl 18.
Yeah, but
or it was the Super Bowl in 2018. It's when they brought out the new JL, and they had this kick-ass. It was a cool commercial of them driving through the woods, through a creek, and all of a sudden up a hill, and they're on the road. That's the only that's the only one I can think of. And even Gladiator, they had that Bill Murray one with the whole parody of his movie. Like, I don't think these vehicles you have to advertise that well, man.
Well, here's the thing. I think that's you resting on your laurels, right? So what you have to do is Jeep was really the only game in town until Bronco. And so now it's going to be that, that neck and neck kind of, they improve, we improve, or say Ford improves, Jeeps improve. And then I think it's going to be that. But I think Ford still wants a lot more market share. And so once production can go full on, and like today, you mentioned the wiring harnesses, and maybe does it affect Bronco, and then the fender flares. I mean, once we get rid of all the small stuff, they can start laying some real big numbers on the board.
Sure. By 2026?
Yeah, 7.
I
8,
was
9.
thinking 2030 actually,
Yeah.
but no. It's one of those things that I think they did such a good job of getting the hype out for people. Now people are seeing them on the road. Like, I can't tell you how many times a day, like, a Jeep owner will drive up and be like, I need to test drive a Bronco. And then we have to look at them and be like, well, you can't. Like, we don't have any. And, like, I had a guy get super shitty with me. He's standing, so, like, in my dealership, you walk in, I'm literally one of the first desks that you see. And I was actually pushing a deal over for one of my Bronco customers. And I'll kind of just keep doing my work and wait for one of the other guys to say something. And if they stay there for like 15 seconds with like no acknowledgement, I'm like, hey guys, like, what's going on? And he's like, hey, I want to test drive a Bronco. And I'm like, well, unfortunately, like, we don't have anyone, like, don't have any on our lot currently. But if one becomes available, I can put you on our list to call. And he looks at me and he goes, honey, are you blind? I'm like, here we go. I'm like, this is gonna be fun.
Look at that. We're gonna have fun. And Dave, I was looking at TJ Miller's question there. It's a good question.
Yeah. So first off, these are the fenders that just made their debut at SEMA, which I think they're pretty cool. I don't like the inside plastic as much, but there's only so much you can do with that too, so that doesn't bother me too bad. But this is the top that is pretty cool. And TJ had a question: how does it flip back, or does it slide back?
It flips back.
So it's kind of like a current soft top. It just kind of pops back, right?
It's literally a current soft top with a back shell cap on it.
Well, there you go, TJ. Let's see.
So yeah, people come in to try and test drive these things all the time, and when you tell them, I'm like, listen, these are already bought, credit apps are in house, money's deposited, like, we're waiting for pickups. And one of the guys was like, well, I bought a vehicle with 200 miles on it. I'm like, yeah, but you didn't order the damn thing.
Right. Yeah.
Like, it's totally different. And he was so rude about it. I'm just like, okay. As soon as it's like, it's like, Michigan. Are you blind? It's like, really?
Well, I had somebody offer me $5,000.
If you were in Ohio where the Buckeyes are, it'd be probably a lot nicer people.
What?
Getting into the sports back and forth. So when I took delivery of my 21, I was walking out of the dealership, and there was a guy there that said, I'll pay you $5,000 over whatever you pay, including taxes. It's like, dude, you just don't know. Sorry.
That's when Dwayne, you go, well, I paid $100,000.
Yeah.
But see, here's the thing. I
pay $150.
Now this is more of a memories car for me. Like, I've met so many people, and like, Bronco has brought so much good into my life. I'm just like, I really don't think I could give it up at this point. Right. But it was like the second week I owned it. I was at the gas station. I worked late. So it was like 10:30, 11 at night. I see a shadow walking by me, like, at the gas station. And I'm like, oh shit. So I start panicking. And he goes, is that one of the new Broncos? I'm like, no, it's a Ford Focus. Yeah. Because, like, at this point, I'm tired. I want to go home. Like, I feel uncomfortable. And he's like, no, seriously, I'll write you a check right now for like $80,000. And I look at him, I'm like, no. And he's like, listen, hon, you're stupid to not take my offer. I'm like, I'm stupid with a Bronco.
Yeah. Yeah. Come on.
I'm like, I'm taking my car. Like, I love this thing. Like, there's no way I'm giving it up. And he got really mad and like got back into his car. I'm like, okay, like, see ya.
Yeah, and the Raptors, I mean, there was one that sold, I think, for $150.
Oh God, those are going for stupid
$135.
money.
Yeah.
Well, Allie, you just got to drive one, right?
I did. To the gas station. It was fantastic. I want one so bad.
So when you when you get on the brake, do you feel the suspension's different, just normal driving, or do you have to do a little off-road? I've
No.
heard it's a little bit different on the road.
It's a little bit different. I do like the driving a lot better in the Raptor than I do my Badlands. But I think a lot of that has to do with the tires and the suspension. So.
Got it.
And
So
I
we
like
go
how you can
35s.
I'm okay with my 33s though. I'll change them, but
Eventually.
yeah, it'll be
I
nice.
think it's
I swear.
somebody will give you a set of wheels to try out or something. Who knows? And then you'll have to
Yeah.
get there. Yeah.
Come on, best
I
top,
mean-
start making wheels.
Yeah.
I mean, I've given him my brutally honest opinion, like over every little thing, and I don't know if he was expecting that or not. So
I actually like. I'm looking at your Bronco still. I actually like those wheels that they put on with the 33s. I think those should have been an option.
Yeah.
I like the Badlands rims or the wheels for well, they haven't changed them for 20 going on to 23 now. But like the Big Bend ones, they're okay. I'm not a huge fan of the Big Bends. What's the other one? Oh, and Outer Banks. They're like okay. But and then of course Sasquatch. But
Well, when I was at Overland East, there was 2 cyber orange Broncos, one Sasquatch, one not, both Badlands. And I even said it in the video, those wheels are really starting to grow on me. I don't know why. It's just maybe it's because I see so many of the Sasquatch beadlock wheels.
probably
Beadlock capable. It's kind of, you start to appreciate the one you don't see as much of.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's killing
even
me.
with,
I'm actually. I love my wheels for my Sasquatch, but I've been kind of getting bored. I'm just like, it might be time to change it because I do have some tires. I've got to make my tire decision coming up pretty soon within the next month, and I'm like, I don't know, maybe new wheels and tires. Huh?
Are you wearing that low yet already?
No, Dwayne, but that doesn't stop the mod monster.
Yeah, but I mean, I thought you done burned the wheels off or something, dude. I'm like,
well,
hey,
no, they're
they
definitely
do wear.
half done.
Yeah, they
They're-
do wear fast.
Yeah, because
I already
it's a soft compound.
Yeah.
I have 26,000 miles on my Bronco now, and I'm gonna need new tires soon.
Wow.
Yeah. Do you keep them rotated, Allie?
Yes, and I do all 5.
Nice, nice. You're lucky.
Yeah,
My
that's
dealership won't.
Well, they also know to rotate all 5 because of me now. So
Well, at some point, Ford's got to send that memo out, man. They got to quit looking so dumb with that.
I mean, honestly though, and it has to do with the communication to the dealers because Ford has never had a car like this before,
Right.
so they're not used to it at
Well,
all.
not in 30 years, anyways.
Yeah, true.
right.
There's a generation that hasn't dealt with this.
And that's the thing. A lot of us are still learning too. So
I want to rotate mine before we have a car show that we're going to be inside, and I figured that's a really good time to clean the brake dust off the inside of the wheels, right?
Right.
So just go ahead and rotate them and wash the backside too, and put them back up.
Are both of your Broncos going to that car show, Dwayne?
They are, and the Mustang. So we're going to have a theme in there. We're going to have I don't want to give it away, but there's going to be some cool stuff like action theme.
Mm-hmm.
That was how you get in there. You don't just, they 20 by 20 spot. So we have a 30 by 20 area for all 3 vehicles.
Nice.
So
nice.
It'll be something different, just kind of.
that'll be fun.
I think we're going to run our YouTube channel on loop there and a little TV next to a fire pit.
So Nikki says, I'm only saying that because Kelly isn't here about I'm assuming the wheels. Kelly's watching. Trust me, she's in stream. She's watching.
I'm pretty sure it had to do with the Ohio comment.
Well, hey. I wanted to make a bet with you and Kelly about whoever at the big game's coming up, and whoever won had to wear their jersey or a hat or something, but in a stream. But then I thought, no, because there's no way I'm wearing Michigan.
I don't know if I could ever bring myself to wear anything Ohio.
Well, yeah, it's Dwayne, this is a great stream because half my viewers are from Michigan, it seems like. So they give me shit all the time.
Yeah, I was just there looking at the comments here. You catch it, don't you?
Yeah. Hey, Dwayne, Mike Max is asking, when and where is that show?
So it is, I'm going to have to look up the date. If you would think I'd know that. I'm having what we call
it was
heck of a week right now, but it's November. It's the end of November, November, I want to say 17th, 18th, and 19th. And it's in Virginia Beach at the convention center, which used to be years ago the Pavilion. So right off of 264 at the oceanfront. So it's actually at the oceanfront in Virginia Beach.
Nice. Nice.
And
well,
it's
Allie,
a
any?
really cool.
Oh, sorry.
show,
Go
bud.
ahead, Dwayne.
Oh no,
Finish
I'm done.
Oh,
So
you're
you have
good.
an event this weekend, right?
We do. Michigan Bronco Club is taking on Hollyoaks.
Where is this exactly? Because I don't know. I know Detroit, and that's about it.
It's like, I'm trying to think now, because it's like, so I'm in Brighton, and it's like 40 minutes from there. Do you know where Fenton is? Fenton, Michigan? Okay, do you know where Flint is?
I do know where Flint is.
Okay, it's like half an hour away. It's half an hour south of Flint. There you go.
Okay. I've probably driven close to it then.
So me and Matt Weaver, and then Andrew Farkas really started Michigan Bronco Club, and then me and him and there's like 3 other people that met up for the first time at Hollyoaks, and we all became really good friends. So he asked me to be a moderator on Michigan Bronco Club, and I told him, I'm like, listen, the dealership keeps me busy enough. Like, I don't want to do a ton, but I'll help some. And so I was talking to some Ford people, because a few of them have recently like got Broncos, and one of them got a Raptor, and I was like, awesome, like, would you guys, like, joking, because I did not think they would take me seriously at all. I'm like, will you guys come out to an event with us? And he's like, yeah, absolutely. I'm like, oh shit, I wasn't expecting that. So they said yes, and we got onto a call, which I can't remember how it got set up, because one of the guys on, I guess, like the board, because Michigan Bronco Club is an official nonprofit, so like we are a legit club now. So one of them got on a call with Ford and Robert Parker. It was Matt Winters, Dave, who's in charge of like SUV media, and there's like 2 other people, and I feel bad that I'm drawing a blank now. Like, they all had a conversation, and they're like, hey, so basically, I know you love Bronco Nation, but
I don't dislike Bronco. Let's
I know. I know. I'm giving you a
They
hard
do
time.
good.
So we basically want to be close to them, so we're like, we can get content, we can talk to people and things like that. And
let me know what it's like when they talk to you, because they won't talk to me.
I've talked to them a few times now, though. So we got to talk, and they're like, hey, anything you need, here we go, just like shoot us an email. Well, I randomly put this event together, and I'm thinking, okay, great, it'll be our first event. We'll have 15 to 25 Broncos. We'll teach the newbies how to be confident, and like what they need to know basic wise, because again, I'm new too. I know what it was like to go to any of these meets, and 1, not know anybody, 2, not know what the hell I'm doing, and like I didn't even have like the basics with me because I had no idea. So we basically want people to have the confidence in off-roading and things like that, and we have a great group of people. Like, we've rarely had an issue where we've had to like kick people out or like kind of monitor like what's going on. It's not like Bronco 6G or anything like that. And Gia like comes back, and she'll tell like anybody. She's like, it's just so much nicer to like talk and like ask a question and not get your head ripped off type of a thing. And that's the environment we want. Good. But the last time I checked, we have like 70 Broncos coming, and I was like, holy shit. Like, I was expecting like the 15 to 25, and we now have 70, and it's growing.
If you could talk Kelly into it, there could be one more show up.
Do it.
There you go.
No, you're gonna have to talk her into that one. I haven't done a stupid trip in a while that makes no sense, so I like doing those.
We're doing it. I'll message her. It'll be so fun.
I'm trying to plan one of those stupid trips here in about a month.
Okay, so I mean, if you want to pull one off for Saturday, it's from 11 to 3 at Hollyoaks.
That's an out for me.
Dwayne's like, no, that's all I'm trying.
I can do Michigan, in Detroit in particular, a drive once a year, and that's about it.
Oh, that means you're
and-
coming to
and
Woodward.
Speaking of, so I talked to, and this goes in hand to hand with both of you. So you guys know what Jeep Invasion is in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. It's just huge,
Yeah.
man. They get all the major sponsors show up. BF Goodrich. I mean, they show up. It's not like they send a guy out with a hat. They show up. So they're putting on a Bronco Invasion, which is the week before, which sadly is the week of Woodward, but I talked to them on the phone yesterday, and they're expecting some big stuff, man. So all these major manufacturers will be there. They're planning to be there the week before for this event, and then it just makes sense they bleed it into the Jeep one. But
Yeah, because they're
you
already
can see
there.
something big here on the East Coast, over the next couple of years with the Bronco show.
Dave,
That'd
are
be
you
so
saying
fun.
that the Bronco Invasion is the week before Woodward?
No,
well,
it's the week of
it's
Woodward.
the week of Woodward, unfortunately, but
Huh.
but it's in Gatlinburg there, and I forget, it's August, middle of August, whatever Woodward
So
basically is. But
I love that Gia said it. She said, "I'm going in my Escape." She literally went to Taos off-roading in her Escape, and it was the best thing ever.
Hey, rock on. Gotta love it. Hey,
She
well,
did
if
fantastic.
this video gets 200 likes, I will guarantee that I'm in Michigan this weekend. But it needs 200 likes.
You can come hang out with us and Ford, because Ford will be there.
I'm just saying, just maybe you guys and poke Kelly about it. You gotta just tag Kelly and everything. And
I'll do
I haven't
it.
done, like I said, I haven't done a stupid trip in a while. And what's 500 miles between friends? It's just
It's
a
fine. It'll be
9-hour trip.
fun. Wait,
Yeah.
does that mean we're actually going to meet and hang out?
No, we won't
Not
meet.
just
I'll see you there, and I'm gonna purposely dodge you. But
I'm going to ignore you at all costs. F that.
no, but you gotta let Kelly. If you guys wanna see the idiot from the South, let
So
Kelly know.
I think it's so funny that I saw Dave at Woodward, and I did not see you guys at Woodward, but
Yeah.
my car's in your video.
I have to go
so-
back and look at that video because I don't even remember like that.
Actually, I met Allie when we were getting ready. Well, she was parking up on the display area in front of
Mhm.
HQ to get the
Well,
pictures.
she's
Oh,
the display
yeah.
girl.
Yeah. And so I was like, all right, well, cool. We're going to do that too. And I was waiting for somebody to come out, get off my lawn.
That's literally what I was waiting for. I'm waiting for someone to come out of Ford HQ and be like, "You guys can't park here," because we were all parking up on that taking pictures.
Well,
Yeah.
Dwayne,
There's
Dwayne
a
did
real
that.
idea, Dave, with the, the audio, you can't park there.
Yeah.
That would have been great.
Well, you remember we did that. We parked up there that Saturday or whenever it was, and everybody was kind of looking around like, is somebody going to run us out of here?
Like, hey, we got the pictures here. So I think that's what it's originally for, but it's cool. Hey, Dave, I'd like to mention, so I do sound like I know where I'm going. Coastal Virginia Auto Show, and it's November 18th, 19th, and 20th at the Virginia Beach Oceanfront Convention Center.
Nice. Well, if you guys are in the area, definitely go. I'm assuming, Dwayne, you guys will be there hanging out around there somewhere. And
of course, we'll be there answering questions. We'll have the doors off of one Bronco, and they'll both be up on something like they're out in the wild. So we'll see how that works out.
Nice. Well, they're driven
That would
wild.
be so fun.
Hey, Allie, quick question. Ford points. I've heard they only last a year. Any
Yes.
truth to that? So if I need to order, how do I use these stupid points? Because it's never been made clear of how you actually use these points.
So they do expire if you don't use them at all. Like, they are revolving. So like once you it's not like 1 year and done for like all of them. Like once you get your Bronco type of a thing. But if you come and go, like let's say you go get your oil changed, instead of actually paying for them, say I want to pay with my Ford Pass points. And your account number is actually in your screen, or you just give them your email associated to the account. To order something, you actually have to go to the parts counter and you have to go to any Ford dealer. I know you don't like your originating dealer where you got your Bronco from, but literally
what have you heard?
Yeah, a little birdie told me a couple of things. It was weird. But it's you go to the parts counter, you order whatever. And you just pay with your points. Like, I paid for my tent with my points. I have the Bronco, or Ford Pass credit card, and of course I got the Bronco card. Shocker.
Right.
So I'm getting points like constantly, and I'll pay for a couple of my customers' oil changes with them if I gotta try and put a deal together, type of a thing.
Right.
So super easy.
Well, and one final question for you, Allie. This place y'all are going off-roading. What's it like there?
It's fun. There is something for beginners and experts. We will be kind of taking people around and showing people. I saw one question in here. Hold on. Where'd it go? It was Bronco Dude. Based on the spreadsheet, what's the percentage of new off-roaders to some experience? We have only 40 people registered as of right now that want the class. I think it's 40, or maybe 40 just said like they were interested. We have like a one-on-one class that we like literally go over the basics. And then we have like a 102 class that they'll take you on a little bit harder stuff. And Tom, who actually runs Hollyoaks, is hosting the trainings with Ford. So it'll be
Nice.
kind of all of us together. So it'll be broken down. And if you don't want a one-on-one class, you don't have to. It's just there if you want it. And we really just want to hang out and have fun. And then Gia said, I thought it was 10. We're showing up at 10. So just whenever people want to come.
Once
just come hang
again,
out with us.
200 likes, and we're guaranteed there. So smash that like button, because I only see 62 likes currently. So
Hurry up, people.
Hey, Dave, I'm working on a solution for next year with the Woodward thing. So how about this? So we head to the Bronco invasion, right? And we can leave our Broncos there. We can do wheels up, fly up to Michigan, right? Go to Detroit, have somebody there. Let's use their Bronco. Who knows? Maybe we can, we'll figure out something, right? Stay up there a day, check everything out.
I'm in Detroit.
fly. There you go. We can fly back, and you can do both in 1 week.
I will be honest, Dwayne, one of my bigger live streams of the year was just when me and Tim turned the camera on and just was watching cars drive by. Like I
was there with you when we were at like 8 Mile and Woodward.
It was so strange. Like I still get a lot of views on that for some reason.
You see the weirdest shit. Oh my God.
You know why? Because you're anticipating the crazy thing that happens live on a busy road.
Right. Well,
yeah.
Pretty dumb to interact with those people too. So like I did the Jeep people were great, dude. I was not feeling any pain, and I was in Gatlinburg proper, and I told Kelly, like, watch this, I'm just gonna start high-fiving Jeep people to see what they do. And like you get this this scared look of like okay, weird guy, but
what are you doing?
So I finally had my Bronco a year. I finally hit my mile marker for a year. I finally had my first Jeep person wave at me.
Really?
Wow.
I don't know that
I've gotten the finger a couple of times from Jeep people, but I finally got my first
We have Gavin, actually. It's pretty sad. Gavin was like, "Did you see what that guy did?" And I was like, "God, man, you represent the brand well."
That's the thing. I've had such a good interaction with all Bronco people, and then it's just come to that. It's like I get there's competition now, but I was like, God damn,
right.
You don't need to.
Well, you don't need to be. Yeah, you don't have to be that.
No,
my neighbor. I sent Dave a picture. It was kind of a cool one. They had this light up skeleton. Yes, they got told Dave it was waiting on the engine light to go off. But this skeleton sitting in this Jeep last night for Halloween. It was just funny, And I mean, he's always, it's the fun banter, right?
So
I keep telling him, anytime you want to go wheeling, let's roll.
We did so at my dealership we do a trunk or treat for the kids, and we had a ton of people come the last couple years because of COVID and people weren't doing the normal stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not crafty, I'm not creative, I don't do a ton of the stuff, but Lauren, our event manager, was really trying to get me to do something. So I put a skeleton in the back of my Bronco with a sign holding up, people waiting for their Bronco reservations be like, and then there's a skeleton.
That was classic.
I'm like, that one went viral for a little bit, and then they just kind of looked at me. I'm like, well, sorry guys. I'm like, I didn't think it was gonna get that much attention.
Hey, did you see the person? I forget which social media platform it was on, but they had one of those 12-foot skeletons from Home Depot in their Bronco.
Oh
No.
wow.
Yeah, so they had the doors off. They had this. It's the big one that you see at Home Depot. So it was sitting in the back seat. And the legs went out of the back door, and they had them strapped up to the front fenders. And
Oh
you know,
my
the head
Lord.
sticking way up, the arms over by the windshield, by the over the sport bar. It was amazing that they did that. Dave, it
That
was
is
on
so
one of
funny.
the Bronco Facebook pages, so I'm sure you could find it.
I have to try and find it. That's hilarious. In my subdivision, they have one of those huge skeletons and then like a werewolf and a pumpkin, but they're all different houses and they'll all hold up different signs depending on the day, just like bantering each other. It's kind of amusing.
Well, Allie, I want to say thank you. I know you were like, hey, I can do
Yeah.
a couple minutes. You seem how to do an hour or so, but I want to say
Perfect.
thank you. And obviously, thank you for wearing the t-shirt. We do appreciate
I
that.
know. It was a happy coincidence. I told you I was just kind of laying down watching the show, going over orders. So there we go.
Well, guys, go buy from Allie. What is it? Brighton Ford, right?
Brighton Ford.
There you go. So the land of number one. You go over there and ask for the Allie discount because there's no
There you go.
discounts.
At all.
Right, at all. But hey, Allie, poke Kelly. Go poke her.
I
And
will. I'm gonna see if you guys want to come. That'll be fun.
I think it'd be fun and silly and makes no sense for me to show up there, but it would be fun anyways.
I think it'd be
all right,
hilarious.
Allie. Bye, girl.
Bye, Allie.
Good seeing you, Dave.
See ya.
There you go, Dwayne. Dwayne, I have to make an announcement because I put their logo up. Let's do it this way. So we have title sponsorship here on the show. And,
Wow.
It happened today, finally. We've been in hard negotiations.
Mm.
But the Bronco Talk Live is now presented by White Knuckle Off-Road Products. And you might be going, what do they do? And
Yeah,
all
let's
these
see.
people do is make rock sliders. That's it.
Huh.
That's all they make. And I've worked with these guys for probably 8 or 9 years. I worked with them with Nissan products and stuff, and they've been bugging me to want to do something. And I was like, well, we'll get some of your rock sliders and throw them on the old Bronco and see how they work out. But guys, if you go over to their website, and I will put the link up because I'm a bad host and forgot to do it.
I like the logo. That's pretty cool. Good deal. Congratulations.
Yeah, but let's see. Yeah, try this again. But go say hi to them over there. Email them if you have any questions. John and Natalie, we've talked about them on the show a few times. But there's their website if you want to check out whatever they do. All kinds of vehicles, but all they do is rock sliders. So you get a shorter wait time. I think they said 4 to 6 weeks right now. And I will say I've seen them all, and by far their powder coating by far is the best powder coating I've ever seen in my life. Me and Kelly with our Xterra, we beat the crap out of that thing, and it would scratch, but it just held tight. I never worried about it chipping off. But we've been big fans of this company for quite a while, so I want to officially welcome them to the show, and you'll see more with them down the road with it. But go check out their rock sliders. Once again, they're all frame mounted too. They're not.
Cool.
Not.
That's really good. Yeah.
Yes, which is where to go, man. Stupid website.
Hey, I have a question for you. Is that their shop truck or is that a customer's? Bronco?
I don't know on that, to be honest, Dwayne.
That was a nice setup. I like how that looked.
I'm a bad I guess a bad well, if I can get their photo.
No, you're missing the better half of the show, Dave.
Well, that is true. My production is level is a little low right now.
Well, send my best to Kelly. Hope she feels better soon.
Yeah, well, she just deals with these migraines from time to time. But anyways, for whatever reason, I know it's very mobile friendly. Their website is, but for some reason, it's not wanting to allow me to show the sliders very well. But they have a few options. They're not that, I know a lot of people go, well, yeah, I've seen these for $500. I guarantee you they're not real rock sliders. Some of the stuff you see is it's a metal bar that goes across there. It's more of a step. These are made to trust me, I've laid my vehicles on top of these things. They hold up very well. Once again, and it's a family-run business, which I like partnering with small family businesses if I can. It's a husband and wife team. They have a few, people working for them, and they're out of Southern California. And I guarantee you, when you see them, and I'll have them on my Bronco in the next couple months, you'll see them, and you'll see it. You'll definitely see them at Supercell, and I'll be very excited about it. But I wanted to do. I kept looking for reasons to talk about them, and there you go.
No, that's pretty cool. So I can't wait to see them, and I'll go to the website and check it out and kind of look everything over.
Yeah, definitely. So Dwayne, you guys are live tomorrow, man. What's going on with your show? Any plans yet, or
so it was funny. We've had 2 guests and potential guests for the last 2 weeks, and something's come up each week. Well, last week and again this week. So I'll be solo again tomorrow night. Maybe Becky will join me. We don't know. We'll talk about the Bronco Raptor update and what I did there. We were supposed to shoot the factory modification video this week, but hopefully that'll go next week. Now we have a week at work right now that is kind of complicated, and so it'll for me.
You privately messaged me, and it was axe time for like your budget. And yeah, I know it was. I don't want to
axe time for a lot of things. Put it that way, because next year we've pretty much lost a third of our budgeting for next year because of.
Oh wow, man! Well,
we're forward pacing. See, the worst thing you can do is end up there. Lies that my camping, for example, you can end up camping and it was supposed to be 40s, but it's 30s. Well, you don't want to budget for a year that you think you're going to do X amount of dollars and you do less than that, right? And so now you're freezing your butt off. But you're, in that case, you're starving, But no, so this week I overestimated what I could do this week. So hopefully next week. But we did do a video of I've had people ask me about how do we keep our vehicles clean. So I finally did the video, and I don't know if it'll be late tonight or if I just do it in the morning. But we'll upload that video and see what you think.
Well, we will definitely be excited to do that. I do greatly appreciate. I know it was last minute when I hit you up. I really appreciate you being on here, man.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity. Always like to say hello. We have mutual people here in the comments, and I like seeing the comments. And hello, everyone that said hi to me.
Yeah, definitely. So no idea on your Raptor yet, huh?
Nothing, crickets. And so we changed. Here's why I went from Lux, and we'll talk about this tomorrow night too, but we went from Lux to High because I started looking at, I wanted to really do options for bumpers, and I don't want to have to deal with adaptive cruise control. And so really what I lose is a heated steering wheel, the wireless charger, the USB on the dash, adaptive cruise control, and there may be something I'm just forgetting off the top of my head, but nothing we can't live without, right? But I think having the option that I can put whatever bumper I want on there is, and plus we have 2 Luxes now. I kind of need to do something different. Yeah,
come down to the lower trims. Come slum it with me, buddy.
No. Hey, you know what? It's do we need it, especially right now? No, we don't. It's probably for us, it's the absolute not the least needed thing in our life right now. But it's sort of the cool factor. And, I know one thing, I'm surprised how this YouTube things work. We get to see what people search for. The Bronco Raptor's not getting a tremendous amount of searching, which I don't understand why that is. Maybe the more of them that hit the road, more people see them, There's someone in our area that has one. I sent you a picture of it. I was sitting in traffic, and you could see it. Yeah. It was a hot pepper, red, and it is like literally the most intimidating thing sitting in that line of cars. It's a cool vehicle, and I think the cool factor is why I really want it.
Right. Well, I'm totally jealous. Trust me. And that's why I'm trying to make it up to buy the Ranger Raptor so I can just be somewhat as cool as you guys over there.
Yeah, but let me tell you, I think the performance, they're going to detune it slightly, which means that you could easily, if you could unlock it, or they'll probably have tuning, there'll probably be some aftermarket stuff, but it's the same engine. and it's a lot lighter vehicle, isn't it? I mean,
oh yeah, I would anticipate it'd be a lot lighter.
So-
no, I'm super pumped about it, and I really think it. Maybe they detune it, but I almost think it's still 418.
well, I
mean,
think they're saying 390 something, 391,
well,
392.
the Australian version is like
Okay.
392 something,
Got
but
it,
they're
got it.
also restricted. There's certain things they're not allowed
Yep.
to
Got it.
have the higher output, I guess. It's much like Japan used to be with their the old GTRs used to be like 280. They were restricted that cars could only be up to 280. And even though the engine did way more, they technically they only did the 280. So DJ Bliss says his Raptor is in production, is still in production. DJ, I don't know if you heard the news, but I'm hearing fender issues for Raptors. So they're starting a mud mountain, as it were, for Raptors. I don't know. That's not 100% right now. It won't be true till basically Bronco Nation says it, and then it'll be facts. But you heard it here first, and so we'll go from there. So guys, get your questions, comments. Dwayne, do not feel like you have to hang out, but you don't have to obviously leave either. So
a couple more minutes, and maybe if somebody has a question, and then I'm out.
Yeah. Any questions or comments? I know it's a bummer night. Kelly wasn't here. The show hasn't went as seamlessly as possible because of producer extraordinaire not here. But anyways, we tried to make it up with awesome guests. That's it. Yeah, DJ, thanks for the update. Haven't heard that. Well, nobody's hearing that. That's something I've heard within the manufacturers. Little birdies told me that. Once again, I do not know that to be true or false, but at this point where I heard it from, I don't doubt it. So we'll leave it at that.
I think Bronco 78 asked what size tires are on the Ranger Raptor. Do you know? Is it 35s?
They're 33s. Which,
really? Okay.
For the Australian version. Once again, they have weird. I don't think that we'll get 35s on it here. Ranger Raptor, of course, it's a Bronco show, but there's a lot of similarities to this. Same framing, same engine and stuff. But there's some weird things you don't want to compete with Raptor proper. You don't want to get
right.
The regular Raptor is 400 or 450 horsepower, so you don't want to get close to that in the little truck, or else it deters people from buying it. You don't want to put 35s maybe on it because, once again, it deters people from buying it. Even though you can get a 37-inch package on the Raptors now, I don't know. It's a weird thing. I was kind of hoping they would do 35s on it, but till Ford releases proper information, it's all up in the air. Good night, Valley Dude. We appreciate you being on there. Nick keeps hitting me up. Nick, I'm not sure you asking about photos. Where did you send them? You may have answered it, and I don't remember where it was.
Yeah, so here's what happened. Nick sent us both some pictures, and I wanted to show you. Actually showed his Bronco once before, but I was looking for him for some reason. When I went to my messages in Instagram, I can't find it. And last week we did the early, Bronco, sort of the, how it began type thing. And I think he was mentioning that maybe you had the pictures, but Nick, either send them again or let me look one more time, because I wanted to show your Bronco there. That would be pretty cool. He has the dark blue one. I can't remember that color, Dave. Early 70 Bronco.
I'm horrible with color names. I barely remember mine being rapid red.
Yeah, but it's a cool early Broncos. It's very cool.
Yeah.
And that that's one thing that I want to start doing more of is early Bronco content. The OG, where it started.
That's all you, buddy. That's a rabbit hole that I cover.
You don't want to go down?
Well, no. I mean, I'm a fan of obviously the Bronco, but
yeah,
I love the early ones. If I could find a 74, my birth year, I would be super happy. But no, I can't. It would be a dark. You wouldn't see me for a while. I go down this rabbit hole of like, I have to know everything. When I get into, I have to know everything about it, which probably helps with this show a little bit. Yeah. Bruce says seen a Ranger Raptor at Ford this week, and it was awesome. Well, I'm totally jealous of you on that one. I did hear, Dwayne, we're going to get the Wild Track version that Australia has, which is basically like the trimmer. It's kind of a trimmer like package. That was kind of interesting that they're bringing that. I know they used the Wild Track name in Australia, and I believe they've used it for other vehicles. It wasn't exclusive to Bronco, but it's kind of interesting news they were going to bring that here.
You remember I said something about that, and the reason why I did is because I read an article. I want to say it was on Ford Authority, and they seemed, maybe it was someone else. I don't want to quote the wrong one, but there was an article, and it was parked underneath sort of an overhang at a hotel, and that's where somebody took a picture, and they really felt like it was going to be here, and the one they showed was cyber orange, actually. So I don't know. Someone maybe had an early tip, or maybe it was a lucky guess. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, I know there's been a few like the Ranger Raptors floating around Michigan because the thing about it is I thought I'm assuming you've seen the teaser that Ford Performance did a couple days ago, but it's kind of funny. They're teasing something that it's not been a secret. Like there's no, I don't know why they're this secretive. Like it's in the shadows. And I mean, maybe for the general public, because obviously we follow this and track this a little more than probably normal people do, but it's like, I don't know what the secret was. Like we've seen this vehicle. Now, rumor has it though the interior is going to change a little bit with our version of the Raptor, because I think the US market probably needs a little bit more they need a little bit more packages. I think the Australians and Indonesian versions of the Raptors kind of, I won't say it's plain because it's very nice, but I don't think both markets are small.
Yeah.
So you don't need the wide range of options that we might hear in the United States.
So what do you think about Ford overall, right? The Transit, doing something with the Transit, the Ranger now, the Bronco, of course, we know what we think about that. The new Super Duty, max towing 40,000 pounds on one of the trims. This is insane numbers. But I mean, Ford seems to really be pushing the new trims that people want. I'll say the fun stuff, right? The new Mustang coming out, the Dark Horse, actually, the little logo right here. You know, they do.
Dwayne?
What's that?
Do you have a Dark Horse on order yet?
Well, technically not on order because they can't, but I'm like your spot there.
Are you number one?
I'm number one. I called my POC, my point of contact over at our dealership, and she goes, "Oh, don't worry, I saw your video. You're already." She said, "Already saw it. Yes, you're number one." Nice. So yeah, we'll definitely have to get a Dark Horse because it's just such a neat car. When we were there at Hart Plaza, hearing the thing run, one thing was I figured it was a Shelby, right? So everyone thought when you saw the EcoBoost, the GT convertible, and then okay, we're just waiting on a Shelby to show up.
Right.
And sorry, there's some background noise there, but you're waiting for the Shelby to show up, and they start the video, and then right before the video ended, they pulled out in front of us, and I'm watching the video and watching the car, and like, what the heck is this? You know, it was a cool surprise. So yes, I got to get one.
Well, I'm totally jealous that you got to go to the Detroit Auto Show before I did.
Hey, yeah, it was fun. Now there was some places there Gavin couldn't go, but those places he could go. But yeah, it was interesting. Next year would definitely be. We'll have to maybe link up and go because I want to do a 3-day event next year. I can't do one, and we had to go through all this extra security because of who was visiting that day, and oh my goodness. So.
Yeah, no, I that's definitely, it's such a big show you got to plan it. Dude, my calendar, I was looking the other day, I've got the Houston Auto Show, which is in January. I really want to attend because usually you get some stuff from the winter that starts, like the Corvette was there early, and there's a few things that usually drop there early. Chicago Auto Show for me is coming up then, and I'd like to do New York this year. Like, man, I need subscribers, guys. I really do, because my needs to be places are out pacing the rate that the ad revenue of this channel is doing at the moment. But
which is an entirely separate video, right, on that one.
Yeah, but Supercell, I'm committed to Supercell again this year. We'll have a booth again. I think it would be fun to maybe get like your channel and my channel. I've talked about Allie, like all just having our vehicles in a booth and having some fun that way, getting to meet people. Yeah, and then there's I would love to go to Woodward, and then that one gets in the way of like the Bronco Invasion, which I will cover. Like, I think that's going to be. I think Supercell's big right now in our eyes because Supercell was the event that sort of kept the Bronco name alive a little bit for events. But I think this Invasion version could be for 6G. I think it could be like the Super Bowl of because you'll see all the aftermarket will want to be there. I think the first year will be like, well, okay, it's not there, but I think by the second and third year of it, it's going to be a major event that you want to be a part of for Bronco.
Yeah, I think it'll be cool. Sorry, Gavin's in the background. He's just noticed the time. I don't know what he's awake for, but I'll have to go and remind him bedtime was like an hour ago. He actually didn't have school today.
Wow.
And speaking of booths, let's do let's do something there. We were in the corral last year. I think we're definitely doing something different this year. And we have. I was actually, I don't want to show it here, but on the other side of this phone here, while we were doing a show tonight, the art came over for our shirts, our
nice.
little
Nice.
character that we designed.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll send it to you privately or whatever, but yeah, we'll have this and some other stuff there. And the goal is to have this for the local car show. Look, the reason why I want to do car show and talk about it here is I want to represent the Bronco there. Maybe like it's not. Supposedly, we're going to be the only Broncos there. And so we wanted to put them in sort of the action type position, like you see at car shows and things.
Yeah.
Something that just shows the doors off, the top off, or part of the top off, and the accessories that you can put on what we have. Unlike you, I don't have the winch and all the goodies on there. But we are going to do some molly panels in the back and sort of stuff there. So, does it all happen by the end of November? Well, I guess we have to wait and see. So I definitely want to represent the Bronco brand as well as possible.
Well, I'm like, we're not even deep into winter and I'm already excited about the spring. So
yeah. Supercell. We were talking about that the other day. We're going to, I guess they'll make the dates official. Are they official yet, or do they wait until December?
Yeah, it came out. Let me see. I think I saved it to my phone. It came out today, actually. Let's see.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, Mike, I don't know about Dave, but I'm definitely up for that. Yeah.
All right. So April 19th through the 22nd is that's East. July 12th through 15th is Wisconsin, and then September 5th through 9th is the West, Colorado.
Got it. Okay, good deal. So we'll go ahead and we'll get something booked there. And
I've got my cabin booked already for Supercell.
I do have one question. Maybe this is off the air stuff, but if you have a display and you drive your Bronco there, can you leave every day with it, or does it have to stay?
Yeah, no, yeah, because that was a concern of mine. The first day was like that we had our Gladiator there as well. And ended up, we just left the Gladiator parked in the parking lot the whole week and just kept driving our Bronco in and out.
And then driving in. Okay.
Yeah, I know with some of the bigger events, there's certain, hey, the vehicle has to stay in this area till a certain time. But I think, what was it, like 4:30, 5 o'clock each day? I think it's kind of when they were winding down. So, no, I'm super. We'll definitely talk about doing something. I keep bugging Allie. I'm like, Allie, you're going to park your vehicle in my display, man. It's just how it has to be. But I know for us, there's a couple, I can't talk about it yet. There's a couple things that I want to companies I'm trying to work with to have something in our booth, some new product. Some you might have seen already on this show and might be excited about it. Obviously the Rock Sliders, White Knuckle. Once again, thank you to those guys for stepping up and sponsoring the show. A lot of support, trust me. And very company. So if you haven't heard of them yet, and it's not surprising, there's so many with Bronco. There's so many companies, fly-by-night companies, I think, doing sliders and stuff right now. These guys are not fly-by-night. They've been in business since 2008, and all they do is rock sliders. So, but Max says, yeah, definitely. I'm up with it too, Dwayne. Definitely.
Yeah, I've never figure out the show there.
I've been to the airport outside in New Jersey, there in Newark or whatever, but I've never actually been in New York.
So we went through New York. I figured out that you never drive a Mustang GT to like Schenectady, New York in January. So it's bad, just bad ideas. So We were snowed in for a couple days, and it was really cold. I mean, just the weekend we went was just really cold, and I wore a Dallas Cowboys sweatshirt. That was a problem, and I asked for sweet iced tea when I used to drink sweet tea there. So I just had a real grand weekend there in New York. Not New York City, obviously, New York State, but still.
Right.
Yeah.
Bronco 78 says, Dwayne, you need to do a Driven Wild Outdoor shirt with Photobomb Steve in the background.
Yeah, like, thanks for an idea. Actually, we have this character we've designed, and we'll have him doing a photobomb sort of Steve thing. I'll just change the face out. Scott is his name. His real name was Scott. He got Steve. Photobomb Steve sounded funny. Did you ever meet this guy?
No, but I remember you guys at dinner. We were talking about it. You kept talking about this guy was like always in your photos.
I'm panning this video. We're at this restaurant down the street, and I'm panning. All of our Broncos backed up. Tim was there, and Bronco 78 was there, and Andrea was there, and it was a grandiose time, right? And this guy was up in the mid 90s Bronco. I think it's like a 94 maybe. He's hanging out the window. There's a dog behind him, tongue hanging out, and this guy's he's like literally crawling out of the window waving, and we didn't know him, right? We had no idea who he was. And we were friends from that minute, because I'm like, man, this guy, he's going to fit right in with this crowd.
Well, didn't y'all did the Overlook or something, and he was somehow in all that too, right?
So what happened was I guess when we left on a Sunday, right?
Oh man, I couldn't tell you.
Whatever the last day was. So the day before that's whenever he photobombed us. And then on the last day when we were packing up, we did a family portrait. We did not see this dude. And when I came home going through the pictures, he's in the background with his wave, He's in seriously, the guy it's a skill for him. But on the last day, we did the cruise through the Parkway.
Right.
You know what the name of that parkway is?
Oh no.
Foothills Parkway.
Okay.
And of course, Bronco 78 had the coolest sounding Bronco there. So, we were cruising with our new Eco Boost, which are, high performance, good, solid engines. But then in the background, you could hear this V8 just chugging up the hill, right? You could hear that classic sound. So it's like for a minute, you felt like you had a V8 Bronco. But we had a good time. Yep.
Well, and it's always a good time, and it's a good time when you come on the show, man. I appreciate you again doing this. So guys, that is a show tonight. Once again, Kelly will be back next week, and thanks for everybody joining in on a Tuesday. I know it was kind of strange. Go tomorrow night. What time is your show on, Dwayne? I always forget.
8:30.
That's your time, right? Eastern?
Yes, 8:30 Eastern. Yes, 8:30 p.m. Eastern.
And go check out what Dwayne's got going on, man. Dwayne needs some love over there, man. Go smash the like button for him, help him out a little bit.
Yeah, we're growing, but we're not, that. But our live streams, we have a great group of people each week in there, and I really look forward to the comments, because I know it's always going to be fun. But yeah, there's definitely room for more, so head on over and check us out.
Well, maybe I'll get the old plasma fired up again and watch you guys on the big screen.
Oh, that was a cool picture, by the way. Thanks. I was like, I made it on the big screen finally.
I know, man. That was crazy. Guys, so there is a show tonight. I greatly appreciate it. If you have any questions or comments, go over to Driven, go to his channel. If you have any questions, go ask Dwayne. Dwayne's pretty knowledgeable on all this stuff. Anything industry-wise, come email me, allterrainnationmedia@gmail.com. You can find us over at allterrainnation.com. Clearly you found me here on YouTube. I'm pushing Twitter now. Twitter seems to be the land of open opportunity. So a little more freedoms over there now. So I'm wanting to do all my breaking news now on Twitter, and I'll funnel it through everywhere else. So till next time, guys. So whether it be 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, or these Broncos we all love to drive, this has been your All Terrain Nation. And what are we doing?
We're out.
Peace, everybody. Love y'all.
See ya.